So, do you know that charting your menstrual cycle can be an alternative to using birth control? I mean, I honestly did not know that until I met with Jess. Jess is here, our fertility expert from all the way from Australia, and she's going to talk about how you can chart your menstrual cycle, what exactly it means. Welcome, Jess.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So make us understand all these women. I'm sure they would love to understand how to get off the birth control pills and use a natural way to basically manage their menstrual cycles.
Yeah, so charting your cycles involves taking your temperature,
Mm-hmm.
and then it also involves recording your cervical mucus each day.
Wow.
So, yeah, the method is called the symptothermal method.
Mm-hmm.
And the sympto part is you're looking for symptoms of your cervical mucus.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thermal part is taking your temperature. So what you do is every day you input the data into a calendar, or there's lots of apps you can use,
Mm-hmm.
and then it will draw out your temperature on a graph. And
Okay.
what you're looking for is a spike in temperature. So when we have a spike in temperature and it sustains high, that means that we have ovulated, or we can confirm we have ovulated, as well as making sure that we record our cervical mucus as well. So those two go hand in hand.
So you're reporting your cervical mucus and you are taking temperature every single day, right?
Yeah. So you take your temperature every morning.
Every morning. So temperature like a normal body temperature you're talking about, or?
Yeah. So you need to use a basal body thermometer. So
Okay.
you can usually find these in your chemist or drugstore in the baby
Mm-hmm.
section. So it
Mm-hmm.
needs to be a basal body thermometer because it measures to zero point 0.2 decimals.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we are looking for such a small shift
Yeah.
that does record to 2 decimals. Then just your regular fever thermometer.
Okay. Okay. So
Then you take it
explain us.
orally.
Yeah. So explain us how it's an alternative to our hormonal birth control. How does it work? I mean, just the mechanics of all this is fascinating.
Yeah. So what you're looking for is when you're putting the data on your chart is you're looking at when you're fertile. So you will be able to open your fertile window and
Mm-hmm.
then you'll be able to close it off. So then you will know when you're no longer fertile. So women are actually only fertile in their cycle for maybe 14 days out of the whole
Okay.
cycle.
Okay.
So a lot of women think that they can fall pregnant at any time.
Okay.
But you need time for the egg to build, to
Mm-hmm.
grow, and then be released. And then the egg's only alive for 24 to 48 hours.
Okay.
So what we're doing with our chart is we're looking when we are fertile.
Mm-hmm.
So if we know when we are fertile, then we know what to do with that information. So when you're using it to avoid pregnancy, then
Mm-hmm.
you just abstain from sexual intercourse, or
Mm-hmm.
you can use other barrier methods. Like if you want to use condoms to stay protected, you can use that as well. So then when we know when we're not fertile, then we know we are safe to go unprotected and we won't be pregnant. So instead of taking a pill or having an IUD or the Mirena to shut down those hormones and to stop your hormones from completely working, you'll stop releasing an egg.
Mm-hmm.
So instead you're cycling naturally and you're finding out when you're fertile. And obviously every woman's cycle is different. We all ovulate on different days.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone has a 28-day cycle like we are told in the textbook.
Yes.
You're using that information to find out when you are fertile versus infertile so you can avoid pregnancy.
Okay. Okay. So you said the women are generally, all of us are fertile for about 14 days, right? It depends on when the egg. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
7 to 14 days depends how long your cycle is. So the reason why we check cervical mucus is because, the reason why we get cervical mucus is because it keeps the sperm alive. So if you've got this beautiful cervical mucus, it will keep the sperm alive, which means that when you release an egg, it will be able to fertilize the egg. And that's why sperm can live up to 7 days in the vagina.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
That is a long life of sperm.
Yeah. Yeah. So our cervical mucus will keep it alive. That's why we secrete the mucus.
So how do you check the cervical mucus? Is there some kind of a gizmo? I mean, some kind of a instrument?
No, you just check your secretions. You can wipe with toilet paper, and you can check what's on the toilet paper, or
Okay.
you can use your fingers if you like, or your
Okay.
hands. There is some tech device out there that you can get, but it's very expensive. And
Okay.
if you learn with an instructor and you learn your pattern, then you'll be able to just learn it from checking off the toilet paper
Oh,
each day.
got it.
Yeah.
So basically, checking with the toilet paper, the sort of like how your cervical mucus looks like. I mean,
Yeah.
thickness of the cervical mucus is what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, so you're looking for what type? So is it like a sticky, grainy? Is it creamy? Is it egg white? So like it's literally can look like raw egg white, where if you stretch it between your fingers,
Yeah.
that's like your beautiful fertile fluid. Or you might have like a wet, watery consistency. So you're looking at the type, what the amount is, and then noting that down.
Okay, and then manage your obviously sex life according to your basal body temperature and cervical mucus, and then that way you don't have to take the birth control pill, right? And you can avoid all these kind of side effects the birth control pill has.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Wow, that's fascinating. That's really fascinating. I don't think a lot of women know about this. I don't know, right?
No, a lot of women don't know. And when I found this information, I always knew that there has to be something else out there. I can't just keep taking the pill. Like I was on the pill for 5 years and I could see the effects it was causing. And then when I started to tell other women that I'm charting, they're thinking, what's this? Not many women know about it. And that's why I decided to get trained to teach the method and want to spread the word to as many women as possible and men, because they should know as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, no, I know most of us have been on birth control pills, and we get all kind of issues like water retention, bloating. There's so many issues all women we have to go through, right? By being on a pill, as an example.
Yeah, it is really sad that we get told that the only option is to take a pill, and a lot of doctors, they won't agree on charting your menstrual cycles, but it's because they're not educated in it, and they obviously didn't learn that in their degree, so they are not taught to share that information. And why would you share something that you don't know? Because you're liable as a GP. So it makes sense. So it's unfortunate that there can be some tension with GPs, but it's just finding the right person that understands you and wants to accept that that's your choice. I mean, I've had my fair share of run-ins with GPs.
So how did you learn about this? I mean, is there some kind of a program that the fertility clinics all over the world have, that you go through a program to learn this charting with your menstrual cycle?
Yeah, there's many methods out there. So the fertility awareness method is sort of an umbrella and an overview, but there are different methods. So the one that I learned and teach is the symptothermal method. I trained with the Natural Family Planning Teachers Association, which are based in the UK. So I did my training through them, but you can learn from any instructor that is trained, and depending on your method that you choose. So it is advised that you do work with an instructor for 3 cycles, just to understand your pattern and your body. If you are coming off hormonal birth control, it can take more time to learn because obviously your body's trying to, the hormones are trying to balance out again. And like it took me a good year and a half after stopping the pill to get normal flowing cycles. So it can take time.
1.5 years. 1.5 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time, right?
Yeah, I was getting really long cycles. I wasn't ovulating. I actually went and seeked out a acupuncturist to help regulate my cycles, and then after a month of doing that, it helped. So yeah, it's really good to work alongside a holistic practitioner, such as an acupuncturist or naturopath or holistic doctor, to help you along the way. As it can take time. So yeah, it's advised to work with an instructor for 3 cycles.
Okay. What else would you like to tell women out there,
Oh, I don't know. I guess that it's should be your right to know this information.
Yeah.
And it is a lot of women I see they get angry when they first hear this, and it is completely normal to feel angry because I felt angry and a lot of my peers do because we're not taught this in school.
Yes.
And it's normal to feel that, and that's just the beginning of your journey because if you are interested, then it will take you on the journey to learning your body, what your body does, and yeah, it's fascinating information to know, which we should all know in school as part of our sex education.
Absolutely. And why don't they teach this in school? I mean, the school only talks about to the young girls, about going on birth control pills. And a lot of young girls, I don't know the data, of course, the statistics, but a lot of young girls, they probably go on birth control pills when they're in high school, maybe younger than that. And that can do so much harm, right, later on a woman's body. But if they know this method, then it's so much easier to do that in school and college.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of young girls go on birth control earlier on for other things such as acne, painful periods, and our whole reproductive system isn't fully developed until around the age of 21. So if you're going on the pill from the age of 14, 15, then you're shutting down that whole reproductive system. So when you come off it, your body has to restart and relearn to develop that part again.
Yes.
So you're basically putting a pause on your puberty development.
Yes.
It's unfortunate.
And that's why you see a lot of young girls. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I just read in the newspapers or the data is that a lot of young girls, they hit puberty much earlier on. And then later on also, mid-30s, a lot of women are hitting perimenopause, or, that's what at least the stats are talking about in the United States, and that's alarming data.
Yeah, it is. It's very true. It's skewing everything and it's messing up a lot of women's hormones.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much, Jess, for sharing this information. Anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
No, I just wanted to say, yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And allowing me to share this information.
Absolutely. This is important. Like I said, I had no clue about it. I had to go on your website and really understand what charting your menstrual cycle means. And then once I understood, it's a safe and a natural alternative to birth control pills, So women who are listening, or maybe who listen later, just understand this. We're just trying to provide a natural alternative to a birth control pill, to make it very simple, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jess, again. To all the viewers, let us know if there are any questions to this. Jess is here. She can answer your questions, and we will be coming up with this particular program because I think it's a fascinating program. It should be made aware to all the women out there who are at this age, the fertility age, to understand what the alternatives are to birth control pills.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you again, and take care.